Legends always talk about these hidden texts, right? Secret knowledge passed down through the ages. Well, today we're going to get into the story behind one of the most famous examples, the sacred personal diaries of the Kriya Yoga master himself, Lahiri Mahashay.
So it really makes you wonder, what is actually in these diaries that are so closely guarded? Are they full of, secret yoga moves, mind-blowing revelations from the cosmos? The truth is actually a lot more personal and honestly, way more profound than you might think.
All right, so here's our first real clue about what they're all about. The diaries were written, and this is in his own words, to release recurring thoughts and note inner realizations. So right away, we know this wasn't some kind of instruction manual for the public. It was a tool for his own journey, his own liberation. And we're talking about a lot of material here, 26 personal journals to be exact. I mean, think about it. They're a direct log of his Kriya Yoga practice, all his inner breakthroughs, and even his thoughts on health and Ayurveda. He was basically mapping out his own path to freedom from the ego. These were never, ever meant for public eyes. They were a sacred family heritage. Yeah, just look at that number, 26. This just drives home how massive this collection is. We're not talking about some little pocket notebook. This is a whole lifetime of deep inner work, all carefully written down and preserved. But like in so many of these stories about precious artifacts, this one takes a really painful turn. That sacred trust, the one that kept these diaries safe within the family, it wasn't just tested, it was shattered. And here's the heartbreaking part. 5 of these priceless diaries were stolen, and it wasn't a stranger who did it. The betrayal came from within, a deep misuse of trust from someone close, even a relative, which just makes it so much worse. And this really shows you the heart of the problem. On one side, you have the pure intention, right? A sacred family heirloom meant for self-discovery. But on the other side, you have the ugly reality. The stolen diaries were used for personal gain, to make money, and even to back up fake claims of spiritual authority. Just a total betrayal of their purpose. The result of this betrayal was swift and final. A very difficult decision had to be made to protect what was left. From that point on, the diaries have been completely unavailable for public viewing. Period. End of story. So a whole new protection plan was put into place for the diaries that were left. First, they're kept in a secure, secret location. Second, they're being scientifically preserved, to stop them from decaying over time. And third, and this is crystal clear, any and all requests to see them are just not entertained. Now, just to be transparent, they do share photos online every now and then. It's just to let true devotees know that yes, the diaries are safe and being cared for. And another really important point, no one needs to donate any money for their preservation. And just a friendly heads up for anyone thinking of visiting, if you show up just to try and see the diaries, you probably won't be let in. Okay, so you hear all this, right? The theft, the secrecy, the protection. It all brings up a really big question, doesn't it? If the original books are locked away, where in the world are the real teachings of Lahiri Mahashay?
And this is the key takeaway, the whole point, really. The wisdom was never supposed to live inside a physical object. The real teaching isn't in the ink of some diary or in a biography or controlled by some big organization. It's inside of you. It's found through your own sincere self-study or swadhyay, and through the hard work and discipline, the tapas, of actually doing the Kriya Yoga practice. And it's in that same spirit that there's still an open call to the community, to the true devotees. It's a quiet appeal for help in getting those 5 stolen diaries back where they belong, so the collection can be whole again. So I guess all of this leaves us with one last thing to think about. On any spiritual path, is the deepest, most profound wisdom something you can just read on a page? Or is it something that can only be built inside yourself through your own quiet, steady practice?